Still confused about intermittent fasting even after watching endless health gurus and skimming through articles? You are not alone. The real question is, what actually happens when you try it for 30 days straight? Does your body burn fat like crazy, boost your energy and reset your health, or it's just another overhyped trend? Today I am breaking it all down with science-backed facts, real results and the transformation you can expect. Let's get started. But first thing first, what really is intermittent fasting? Well, it's not about what you eat, but when you eat. It means cycling between periods of eating and fasting. For example, the 16-8 method, where you fast for 16 hours and eat within an 8-hour window. And during fasting, you stick to water, black coffee, tea or 0 calories drinks. After about 12 to 16 hours, your body flips a metabolic switch, moving from burning sugar to burning stored fat for energy. This simple change in timing, feast then fast, mimics how our ancestors ate and can create powerful health effects over just 30 days. But what changed in our bodies? When you begin intermittent fasting, the first few days often feel like a test of willpower. Hunger tends to hit at your usual meals time because your body is conditioned to expect food at those hours. This isn't a sign of failure, it's simply biology. The researching part is that these hunger pangs usually comes in the waves and don't last forever. Research shows that there is an adjustment period of about 1 to 2 weeks for the body to get comfortable with a new fasting routine. During this time, your body is recalibrating its internal clock and hunger hormones to match your new eating schedule. In that initial phase, you may experience a handful of side effects. Headaches, irritability or dips in the mood are common, but they typically go away after the first week or two, once your hormones begin to balance out again. Think of this as the turbulence before the smooth flight. It can feel rocky, but it doesn't last long. The body is more adaptable than most people think. And this is when something interesting happens. Most people assume that skipping breakfast will leave them sluggish and unfocused, but many intermittent fasting beginners report the opposite. Instead of brain fog, they often feel a surprising boost in mental clarity and energy. Dr. Krista Vardy, one of the most well-known researchers in this field, has consistently found that fasting doesn't make people lazy and energy drained. This happens partly because fasting stimulates human growth hormones, which supports fat burning but protects muscle. Once you move past the initial hunger waves, you may notice this new sense of focus. Some people report that within just a few days of starting, they experience sharper attention and even a sense of mental lightness. This is likely linked to what's happening inside your metabolism. Around 14 to 16 hours into fast, your body switches from burning glucose to burning stored fat for energy. When this metabolic switch flips, the brain begins running on ketones, the energy molecules created from fat. It's an important health marker since belly fat is closely tied to risk like diabetes and heart disease. That's why many fasters describe feeling more in the zone after a few days than they did when eating a traditional high-carb breakfast. Morning grogginess often fades, replaced by a lighter, more focused state. By the end of the first week, physical changes may also start to show. Without constant snacking, bloating tends to decrease, your stomach feels flatter because your digestive system is no longer working non-stop. Some people notice they drop a couple of pounds in this first week. Most of that initial loss is water weight, which happens because your body burns through stored carbohydrates. Glycogen, the storage form of carbs, holds water, so when glycogen levels dip, water is released. This explains why the early weight change can be dramatic, but it isn't yet true fat loss. By around day 10, however, the numbers on the scale may begin to reflect more meaningful changes. Still, it's important to remember that everyone's experience is different. Factors like your starting diet, your activate level, and that expect length of your fasting window all play a role in how quickly results appear. Someone who was regularly eating late-night snacks will see faster changes than someone who was already eating healthily but just shifts their schedule. The lesson here is patience. During the first 2 weeks, your body is essentially learning a new rhythm. Once you push through that stage, fasting usually begins to feel much easier as your hunger hormones stabilize and adapt. Fast forward to day 30 and the transformation is far more noticeable. By now, most people see at least some weight loss. On average, losing 1 to 2 pounds per week is common, which means 4 to 8 pounds in the month. This may not sound dramatic compared to crash diets, but it's healthy, sustainable progress. And unlike water weight, most of this loss by day 30 is actually fat. Studies show intermittent fasting typically produces mild to moderate weight loss of 3 to 8% of body weight over 2 to 3 months, right in the line with traditional calorie-cutting diets. For a 200-pound person, that could mean dropping around 6 pounds in the first month. Another unique aspect of intermittent fasting is that weight loss often comes from fat while muscle is preserved. In one study of young men following a 16-8 fasting schedule, participants lost fat but keep their muscle mass intact. Some even reported improvements in endurance. And since most people continue eating protein-rich meals during their eating windows, their muscle have what they need to stay strong. By this point, many fasters notice looser clothes around the waistline. But the changes aren't only on the scale. Appetite regulation improves noticeably by the end of the first month. The constant food cravings of week 1 are largely gone by week 4. Hunger cues become more predictable and easier to manage thanks to hormonal adjustments. Many people say they feel satisfied with smaller meals and digestion often improves as the gut gets regular breaks from processing food. Some research even suggests that fasting can enhance the diversity of the gut microbiome, which may explain why bloating and discomfort often fade. By this stage, hunger feels more clean. It arrives when your body truly needs fuel, not just out of habit. So, by the time you hit day 30, the results speak for themselves. You might be a few pounds lighter, your clothes might fit more comfortably, and your energy and focus are likely steadier than before. Now tell me, would you like to take the 30-day intermittent fasting challenge to see how your body responds? What's the biggest change you would want to see in 30 days of fasting? Weight loss, better focus, or improved energy? If you could only eat during an 8-hour window, what time of day would you choose? Want to stay updated with more videos like this one? Subscribe now and get clear research-backed health insight delivered straight to you, so you don't have to spend hours finding through the science yourself. See ya in the next video.